Hello there. Hi. Welcome back to the channel. This is Ayan. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you are having a wonderful day. So today I will be going over the first half of April with my 30 inks 30 days challenge. So I have here my calendar and my A6 Hobonichi. So here are the inks that I used for the last 15 days, and so far it's going very well. I've had some really great experiences. So for 30 inks 30 days, what I do is I write the brand and ink name over here in my calendar, and I make a scribble. And then on the daily pages, I make some swatches for the inks. And then I do a little bit of a writing sample. I do this for every single ink for the month. So the other writing sample is done here in a Jet Pens Kanso Noto notebook. This is a Tomoe River notebook with 52 GSM paper. So this is my transcription project for my my fountain pens. It's a copy of Anne of Green Gables. So I just do all my writing samples with the inks that I have in pens, and I thought I'd do the writing samples for this 30 inks 30 days here as well. So I make a page for each day, and I will give you a flip through and a close-up for each day. First, we'll do the swatches, and then I'll show you the writing sample on the side over here. So this is the first day. I used Earl Grey tea by Dominant Industry. I received a sample from Leanne from Leanne Likes, and this is the ink that I used on the first day. So I used the broad nib for this writing sample. I also have a writing sample in a broad nib over here, but this ink is a very wet writer, so I thought the broad was a little bit too much for me, so I changed the nib to a medium. And I guess for the rest of these writing samples, for the rest of the days, I also used the medium nib. Except for one time, I changed the nib to a broad nib because the ink has shimmer. So that is the first day. The second day is this Birmingham Pen Company Goldfish ink from another pen friend. I really like this ink. It reminds me of banana. I don't know why, but that's what it reminded me of, and it's really unique. This at least with all the inks that I've already tried, this is a very unique yellow ink. The writing sample is over here. It's a very nice flowing ink. I liked it, and the shading is very pretty. Next up, day 3, we have Sailor Manyo Ayame. So starting day 3, I started using a book that I got as a gift for Christmas from a colleague at work. It's this book right here, The Indispensable Dictionary of Unusual Words, and I just chose some words and use those definitions for the writing sample. So This is Ayame. It's a chroma shading ink from Sailor Manio. Like, it has a lot of purple in it, and haloing, green haloing on the edges. I got this as a sample from Yoseka Stationery. The writing sample, it performed well on the medium nib of my pen. By the way, I'm using a TWSBI Go fountain pen for all of this writing samples. It's very easy to clean, disassemble, clean, and it's very comfortable in the hand, and you can just change the ink every day and clean it up. It's rather convenient. So yeah, so this is the pen that I'm using. Right now it has day 15's ink in here, so that's the pen. Oopsie. And then, so yeah, that's day 3. Day 4 is another ink sample from a pen friend. This is Robert Oster, Aussie Cities Hobart. It's a brown ink with a very dark brown halo, and yeah, that's the writing sample on this that show. The writing sample on the transcription project, I really liked how this performed in the pen. Sorry, just had a sip of my drink. But yeah, I really love this ink. Next up, day 5, we have Dominant Industry Wonder Pens exclusive ginger chicken. This is another sample from Leon. This is just really nice. It's perfect for the pen. It wrote really well, and I guess it reminds me of Diamine Ancient Copper, the color, the flow too. So it's not exactly the same, but very close. And this is the writing sample. The shading with this ink is really pretty. Day 6 is Diamine Inkvent Blue Edition Polar Glow. This is a heavy sheener. It has a really nice red sheen. It wrote really wet, but it doesn't smear, or it doesn't feel sticky as some other sheening inks does. But here is your writing sample. I don't know, I'll try and shift it slowly and maybe you can see the sheen on the writing. And I love when sheening inks actually, like, the sheen actually shows through in writing, because sometimes it doesn't. Like, it only sheens on the swatch or something like that. Day 7, we have Robert Oster Sydney Darling Harbor, another sample from Leanne. Yeah, so for my 30 days this month, I'm trying to use samples that I got from friends recently. Some ink samples that I haven't tried in pens, some of my inks that I haven't featured in my 30 inks 30 days. So this is Sydney Darling Harbor. It's like a gray that has a lot of that has some blue and green on it, and it's really pretty. Has some shading, very subtle. This is the writing sample. Yeah, pretty ink and pretty well behaved too. Next up, we have day 8. I have for you a Cult Pens exclusive ink. This is Diamine Iridescent Little Bob. So it's called Little Bob because I only have the 30 ml bottle. The actual ink is called Robert, and it's a purple, it's a magenta ink with green sheen, and it does sheen like a lot. It's very, yeah. So this one too doesn't feel sticky at all, although maybe a little bit more than Polar Glow. This is really heavy sheener, and on the writing, it almost overpowers the base color, but it's still legible. It's not so shiny that you can't read it. It'll only show up when you shift the paper slightly. Yeah, very nice color. Day 9, we had Vert Olive by J.R. Bond. Yeah, this is a bright olive green, but it doesn't, like, it's not as searing as, say, what do you call, I'm trying to think. Ferris Wheel Press Frivolous Lime is what comes to mind, but it's not as searing as that. So yeah, it's very nice. Writing sample behaved well in the pen, actually flowed well, and the shading is very obvious, but it's still quite legible, but maybe it wouldn't be in like cream colored paper. Yeah, but it's really nice. Next ink is Pilot Iroshizuku Fuyugaki. Yeah, this ink is a little disappointing to me. I like orange inks. I thought I was gonna get more sheen, but it doesn't really have a lot, even in the swatch. So I guess I didn't do enough research, but yeah, I was expecting sheen, and I don't even see much of the shading. There's very little shading, and the color itself is quite boring. I don't know, this is like a pinkish orange, you know, that makes sense. Yeah, but it still is an Iroshizuku ink, so very well behaved. Next up, we have Burgundy Rose from the Flower series by Diamine. This has a very dark brown sheen as well, that shows up even in the writing, especially on a very wet medium. Yeah, really nice ink. Great color too. Maybe comparable to, like, say, Red Dragon. Yeah, like from what I've already tried. But here you go with the writing sample. A little bit of a close-up. There's also some shading, but yeah, it's really nice color too, like a wine burgundy color. Next up, I have another sample from a pen friend. This is Sailor Shikiori Chushu. The ink is very dark purple that sometimes look black in some paper. I really like using this that day at work. It's a very work appropriate ink. It's not as boring as black. Some people would think black is boring, although I like using black. But yeah, it's like, it just adds a little bit more character, but you know, it's not as obnoxious. But the writing sample looks like a dark gray, but it's actually a really dark purple. It's very nice. Day 13, I used another Cult Pens exclusive, Little Tam. It's a red with kind of a golden sheen, and it has less sheen than Little Bob for sure. And it also didn't, but because it's like a darker sheen, it didn't look too obvious. But a very nice red color. Yeah, maybe reminded me of Dominant Industry Romania Red. Those two are kind of similar. Day 14 is the shimmer ink, the first shimmer that I used this month. This is Vinta Santa Cruz. It's an orange with kind of a golden shimmer particles. This one actually surprised me. I thought I wasn't gonna enjoy it. I put this in a pen before, but I put it in a Sailor compass with a steel medium fine nib, and I didn't enjoy that, so I didn't use this at all until this day, the 14th, and I wrote with it all day and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, writing sample is this one. The shimmer is actually very consistent. It makes me want to try other Vinta shimmer inks, but it actually, like, it's very consistent in the writing. Sometimes you'll get shimmer inks that would only have, like, say, shimmer on the first line, and then you gotta like agitate really hard for it to show up on the other lines. But this one actually like performed really nicely, and the flow is very good. It comes out of the pen really nicely. And finally, we have today's ink, which is the Atramentis Jane Austen, another sample from Leanne. So this is a green ink, very well behaved, although in the writing sample it kind of dried up towards the end. It might be the pen too, but it's been happening, like with the Twist Be Go that I'm using, but at the beginning it looks really nice, but then you'll get more shading towards the end, but it gets a little lighter. But it's actually a really nice ink. So there you have it. That is first half of 30 inks 30 days. Here is the close-up of the calendar page. I made a mistake here. I think here it's supposed to say flower instead of music, so please excuse that. Here are inks, and then that one. Yeah, so far I am enjoying it. I'm really amazed at how Maria Mandaby, I think Sarah from I don't recall the name of the channel, but they do like daily 30 inks 30 days video, and I cannot, because that's teamed like a lot of effort for me, and they're really good, and I hope you watch their 30 inks 30 days. You know, they show off all the inks really well. And so that is it for me. If you have any questions, suggestions, anything you want to see next, leave them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and consider subscribing and turning on notifications for this channel. So next up, I will be filming my entire ink collection, which is a little boring, but I may or may not swatch them all for you. If you want to see me swatch them, let me know. If I have enough people who want to see it, I will. But yeah, there's a lot. I have more than 100 bottles of ink, but you know, they're like from like 5 brands, so it's kind of boring still. And yeah, so I guess that's all for me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful